water-soluble pencils. Here we've got the Charisma colour water-soluble pencil. It's a black pencil, but basically when you mix it with water it does all sorts of wonderful things. Now you can get this in a soft, a medium and a very soft, in other words light, medium and dark. Other manufacturers, this one's, where are we? This is a Derwent sketching pencil, and this is classed as light wash, roughly equivalent to HB. You can see how little water we need. In fact, I probably don't need that, I just couldn't find anything smaller. And that looks quite attractive in that glass. I just wish it was gin. Okay, right, now the great thing about water-soluble pencils is that you can use them in 3 or 4 different ways. So for example, you can just use them as a normal sketching pencil, and that's probably equivalent, I suppose, to about I'd guess about an HB, or no, sorry, perhaps maybe a 2B. Or you can add a little bit of water to them, and this is where the versatility really comes into its own, where you can move the graphite around on the paper to produce the most gorgeous effects like that. Or you can scribble with it, and then with a dampened paintbrush you can actually pick that up and move it elsewhere as if it was paint. And then if you want to, you can go into it with the pencil, into the wet paper, the dampened paper, with a pencil, and get yet another effect. What I'm going to do is a little later in the scene, and I'm going to use the water-soluble pencil and the paintbrush and a little drop of water. Let's see how we go on. We'll start off by drawing a horizon line, and then, so I don't run off the bottom of the television screen, I'll put the base of the lake roughly there for now. Okay. It's only very simple. It's going to be the minimum rather of lines, a little bit of trees, and then we'll have, I think, a little rowing boat just as a focus of attention. This is very typical of the Lake District, where fences often, even now, run straight into the water, quite a few dozen yards out in many cases. I suppose it's people owned certain stretches of the water and didn't want other people to invade their privacy, so to speak. Right, now what I'm going to do is to just do a little bit of shading there. You can see I've only come a little bit of the way down on the hillside, and on that hillside a little further, a little bit darker, but I've not done all the hillside, and the reason for that will become evident in just a moment or two. And you can see that I'm doing them rather darker as they start to come forward. This is known as aerial perspective, where the further away things get, the paler they become. So this is only a hint of trees and a little bit of headland. And as we come down here, I'll put a little bit of headland there, and I'll add a couple of, no I won't, I was going to say I'll add a couple of fir trees, but I'll do those a little later on. You can see that the pencil is going on here much stronger because this area of land is much closer. Oh yeah, not forgetting a bit of shading and shadow and reflection of the boat. Right, I'm going to leave it at that for now, and I'm going to add the water with the paintbrush. So we'll start off with the most distant part, which is this distant hill. You can see now why I've only shaded part of the hill, because I'm dragging the rest of that pigment down into that valley. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, some nice little bit of hit and miss there. Make sure we get the straight edge along the lake shore. Now when we come onto these trees, let's see what sort of an effect we get here. And as you can see, I'm just dabbing and almost stippling. Sometimes I think if you believe it's going to turn out right, then sometimes I think it will turn out right. I think they call it confidence, but I don't know. Practice seems to help. Always remember a famous quotation by the famous golfer Gary Player, who said, "The more I seem to practice, the luckier I seem to get." I think there's a lot of truth in that. You can see how that impression of trees is standing out in relief against the far hillside, which of course is much paler. Appeared quite strong a minute ago, didn't it, compared to that? Oh, I know, I promised I was going to do those fir trees, didn't I? So we'll do them and make sure that they stand up above the edge of the far edge of the lake. Incidentally, once the water dries, you generally can't resurrect the pigment again. Can to some extent, but you tend to turn it muddy. Right, let's deal with the boat. I suppose that's to have a little bit of shadow there, a little bit of reflection. Yeah, that looks quite nice. Oh, I know. You thought I'd forgotten that, didn't you? Do you, like me, watch people painting and think, "Oh, you've missed a bit there, you haven't done that, you've forgotten that, and it's not going to look right." And sometimes they do. We'll just finish off now with I think a few little grasses here and there. It just helps to define a little bit of shadow. I think I've just strengthened that boat slightly there, the darkness. There we go. Don't forget, grass is always growing up alongside fence posts. And I think what we'll do is we'll pick some of that pigment up and just do a little hint of, yeah, a little wash of. I'll put some more pigment, darken those trees off, and then get the brush in so it can pick some of it up and create a few clouds. I don't want too many, don't want to overdo it. Okay, and we'll call that it.